This is Cambodia, an energetic, beautiful country filled with fantastic food, kind people, and so much culture. My name is Claire Hawkins. I'm a traveling singer-songwriter, and I spent a week exploring this fascinating country. I've combined all of my Cambodia videos, plus some never-before-seen footage, into one ultimate Cambodia travel vlog.
I'm working on my foreign voice.
If you can hear the noisy tuk-tuks and motorbikes, then you already know I'm back here in Southeast Asia. My flight just landed here in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, and I could not be more excited to be here. If you're new to the channel, my name is Claire Hawkins. I'm a traveling musician, and about 2 years ago, I came to Southeast Asia for the first time ever and visited Thailand and the Philippines. I had the best time in both of those countries, so I knew I had to come back and do some more exploring in this region. This is my first time here in the country of Cambodia, so I thought I'd take you all along with me and share my first impressions, spending my very first few hours here in Phnom Penh. So I went for the Khmer noodles because I've heard that that is a really popular dish you have to try here in Cambodia, and they're very good. They kind of almost remind me of something like a Thai green curry, but it's definitely completely its own thing. So immediately, one very interesting thing to note is that the prices here, at least in what I assume is the touristier areas, are in US dollars. So you can pay in dollars and then you'll get your change mostly in the local currency. And of course, important to note that my meal was about $2.50, which is lovely.
So I've been quiet lately and it's all my own fault.
Now, of course, included in my first impressions of a new country are the errands that I have to run when I arrive in a new country. I just dropped off my laundry, which I didn't do the entire time I was in Taiwan, so there was a good 5 kilos worth of laundry there, but it's only $1 per kilo to have them wash, dry, and fold it. Now I'm gonna head off on my next errand, which is to buy a SIM card, so I have data here. And then the hostel where I'm staying has a walking tour, so I think that's the perfect next step.
So I've been taking a break and I don't want to at all.
So 7-Eleven didn't have SIM cards, this grocery store didn't have SIM cards. I think what I need to do is find a cafe with some Wi-Fi and do some research, which I maybe should have already done before arriving, but I didn't.
'Cause the time is advancing and I'm here slow dancing, feeling it's all part of the fall.
I do remember this from Thailand. Cafe Amazon is a great spot. It's kind of like a Starbucks type chain. It actually feels super Western, but they do have Wi-Fi if you buy something, and the staff are nice and the coffee's solid. It's kind of a good home base if you need to do what I did and do some Googling while drinking a coffee. What I learned from my research is that the best place to buy a SIM card is at the phone carrier stores. So places like 7-Eleven are not the go-to in this country for SIM cards. All right, Cambodia officially wins the award for the cheapest SIM card that I have ever purchased. It was $1 US for the card itself, and then for 1 week, 15 gigabytes of data, it was another $1.50, bringing our grand total to $2.50. Now I'm gonna head back to my hostel and join their walking tour to get a little bit more of a sense of the city. Ooh, one more important thing before I forget. When you go get a SIM card, bring your passport.
So I won't wait and I won't wonder.
So they've given us all beers and put us on tuk-tuks, and we're headed for what I know will be a very unique walking tour.
I'll just chase away the summer. And if this fire is underwater, how long can it last before it's out?
So apparently today is Cambodian Independence Day, which is why the traffic is blocked. So we are walking through the traffic to get to the Independence Monument. And it's just such a silly, unique experience. So unfortunately, we can't get closer right now because of the event going on for Independence Day, but this is the Independence Monument. This monument was built when Cambodia got its independence in the 50s, and our tour guide let us know that Cambodia is 71 years independent, and the current president is 71 years old.
Keeping busy like it's some kind of excuse. Walking around this city like it's on the list of things to lose.
All right, here we go. Our tour guide said the Cambodian style of crossing the street is you close your eyes, you keep walking, and you pray.
But the time is advancing and I'm still slow dancing, spinning around.
This walking tour actually involves quite a few modes of transportation because we are now headed to a ferry.
So I won't wait and I won't wonder. I'll just chase away the summer. And if this fire is underwater, how long can it last before it's out?
I'm on a boat in Cambodia.
I've gotten too good at holding my breath. I've gotten too likely to forget. And with every word I don't say,
We've stopped across the street from the Royal Palace to try Cambodian donuts.
it's washed away. 'Cause the time is advancing.
It's so sticky, so sweet, really, really good.
Dancing, hoping it won't all go to waste.
Oh geez. Apparently the next part of the walking tour is eating crickets. I don't know if I can do it, but I want to.
So I won't wait and I won't wonder. I'll just chase away the summer.
I won't lie, I'm pretty scared about this, so I have to do it before I overthink it. Okay. That tastes way better than it should.
If it rains, if it thunders, if the world's going under, how long will it last before it's out?
This is so funny. I can't believe that I've only been here for a couple of hours. This has been just incredible. Honestly, my first impressions of this country are just shock and awe, if you couldn't tell. I think I like it here very, very much. Good morning from Cambodia. When you're on the road as long as I am, some days are just kind of admin days. Today I have to do some work, I have lots of videos to edit, I have to pick up my laundry, I might even get a haircut. I'm still gonna make sure I fit in some sightseeing and see some of this beautiful country while I'm at it. But I figured I'd take you all along for a little day in my life as a music digital nomad here in Cambodia.
It feels a little bit heavy, like I'm told it should. I was a little unready, didn't know if I could.
That place was so good for breakfast. The guy working there was such a sweetheart. He wanted to be on camera, so I got a clip of him. He was also really funny and told us that he works in the front and his ex-girlfriend is the chef. He then clarified she's now his wife. So no longer his girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, now wife. He was very funny. I'm now headed back to the hostel just to get a little bit of work done, and then I'm gonna head out somewhere exciting for lunch.
With everything and nothing,
As you can hear, I am off in a tuk-tuk to the next stop of the day, which is lunch at the Central Market.
Now I'm making plans for the rest of the year.
This building right behind me is the Central Market. It opened in 1937 and it was actually built by the French when Cambodia was under colonial rule. Supposedly it has food and drinks and souvenirs, lots to explore. Let's go check it out.
It's not a choice that I need to make. It's just a voice pointing out everything that's at stake. No one I know is gonna show me the way, but I know staying put is still choosing.
I'm sure that this green tarp is helping the effects of the heat of the sun, but it's toasty in here. I am actually getting to put my French to use right now because this pillar explains the history of the market, but it's only written in Khmer and French because, as I said, this market was built when Cambodia was under French colonial rule. It says that the first stone was laid in 1935 and then the market was actually completed 2 years later in 1937. There are lots of coconut water stands where I am right now and it's very hot, so I think it's the perfect time to get one. Thank you!
Thank you so much.
Thank you! So sweet, it's really nice. I can't imagine it's very easy to wear a heavy winter coat like that in this weather. So far, it's pretty much just been clothes and coconut water, although there was one food stand that I passed. But it's really interesting. It's like a maze in here, but there aren't that many people. I don't know if that's just because it's the middle of a weekday, but I thought it was gonna be way more crowded, and it's kind of nice that it's not. What I just saw was large blocks of ice being chopped up into ice to supply to restaurants and the like, which is really, really cool to see, especially because it's so hot in here and they are able to preserve huge blocks of ice.
He talks a little bit to me like I wished he would.
I have definitely now made it to the food section of the market. It's a lot more lively. There's lots of fish and produce and meat and all sorts of things, and it definitely seems like this is where local people are coming to get their food.
He sees a little bit through me where the walls once stood.
I have found the prepared food section and I decided to sit down at the restaurant that just had the most people there. I think that seems like a safe bet. Some of the places here have menus, some have signs, not a lot of English. You can use the Google Translate app if you want to try to translate the menus. That's what I did. But also, people have been really nice and have given me suggestions, and I can also kind of just point at things and say, that looks good, which is what I've done. I've gone for a beef sandwich. It looks kind of like a banh mi sort of situation. We're gonna try it. I think it's gonna be really good. Well, I would say this was a very successful trip to Central Market. I am, however, extremely sweaty, so I think before I get back to work, it's time to cool off in the pool.
With everything and nothing pouring out my lips. Now that it's not broken, I can look for
Thank you. I'm gonna go for an extremely quick, very short run and then hop in the pool. Sometimes when I'm running in another country, I worry about seeming annoying or obnoxious or getting in people's way. But I have gotten nothing but friendly smiles from the locals I've passed.
It's not a choice that I need to make. It's just a voice pointing out everything that's at stake. No one I know is gonna show me the way, but I know staying put is still choosing to stay.
The next stop of the day is to get a haircut. I'm sure you all can tell I don't cut my hair very often, but it's time. It's gotten really long. I want a nice little refresh. And I think the place I've found is about $15 US here in Phnom Penh. I actually think there are places that do it even cheaper, but I read really good reviews about this place. It sounds great, so we're gonna see how it is.
I've learned to ignore the way. Not all who hurt have to numb the pain. I can bear it pushing down on me.
It looks so good. Thank you. That was definitely a success. I feel so good. My hair feels so healthy. They were all so nice. So I definitely recommend this salon. I'll put their name on screen now. Now that that's done, it's time to pick up my laundry, eat some dinner, and finish my work for the day. I'm not quite sure on the order of those things, but that's what the rest of the evening's gonna look like. I have to admit, I came here just because I walked by the other day and it looked really good, and I'm very happy with that decision. If you want to find this place on Google Maps, the English written name is Meng Heng Restaurant. Essentially, it looks like the big thing that they do here is beef soup, and they have a few different variations of it. I've gone for the beef soup with the rice noodles and grilled bread. That was so good. I think it might be my favorite meal of my time in Cambodia so far, which is saying a lot because all the food's been really good. Now I'm gonna head over to a cafe/co-working space that I hear is open 24/7. So we'll put that to the test because it's getting late.
It's not a choice that I need to make. It's just a voice pointing out everything that's at stake.
I've made it to a pretty good stopping point with my work, and there's one more spot here that I really want to fit in today. So I've just called a tuk-tuk, and I'm gonna go check out the night market.
No one I know is gonna show me the way, but I know staying put is still choosing to stay.
I've just arrived here at the Phnom Penh night market, and immediately the energy is very different from the central market this afternoon. It's pretty quiet. It's not super lively, which I would say is actually the same as the central market. However, there's lots of bright lights and there are definitely more people here. It just still feels pretty quiet. So the market is definitely mostly clothing and lots of shoes. There is a food section in the back as well, and multiple blankets for people to sit on and have a little picnic with the food. It's not crazy big, so you can see it all pretty quickly, which is kind of what I've done here, but it's been a really nice end to a pretty long and busy and fun day. So far, my time in Cambodia has just been so incredible. The people are so nice here. The food's fantastic. I've just had a really great time, and I'm very excited to continue exploring. I do have one more day here in Phnom Penh, but I am spending it visiting S21 prison and the killing fields, which are two very important but very heavy things to see here in Phnom Penh. So out of respect, I've decided not to include them in a vlog. So you will next see me in Siem Reap. Well, hello from Siem Reap, Cambodia. Earlier today, I took a bus here from Phnom Penh. It took about 8 hours, including some stops, and it only cost me $13. From the bus, I took a tuk-tuk to my hostel, and now I'm getting ready for a very exciting day tomorrow. It is currently midnight, so I am gonna be getting about 4 hours of sleep because I am headed to see the sunrise at Angkor Wat. It's currently 4 a.m. Let's go catch a sunrise. I am here now at the ticket office for Angkor Wat. A couple things to note: if you're doing a one-day visit like I will be doing, the ticket costs $37 US, and there are packages where you can do a 3-day ticket or a week-long as well. I booked in for a tour, so I'm in a group here, and I don't really know yet what order we're seeing things in. The thing to note is that Angkor Wat is a huge complex of so many temples, so I already know that we're not going to see it all today. The sun sun has just started to come up and it's already so beautiful. We are starting off here at the main temple, Angkor Wat. Like I mentioned, Angkor Wat refers to a whole complex of different temples. This temple has 5 entrances because they were used for different people. So the main entrance was for royalty, there was another entrance for other officials, and then of course the common people had a separate entrance. So as I think you can tell in the background, there are a lot of people here. Not too many. I mean, for this being such a famous, iconic site. But I should mention that just because we got here before the sun was up does not mean that we were the only people with that idea.
She takes her time. She lives alone and unwise.
Now that the sun is actually up, I figured this was a good opportunity to share some facts with you about where I am right now. So Angkor Wat is a temple complex. It's actually considered the largest religious structure in the world, which is not something that I knew before coming here. Angkor Wat actually translates to Temple City or City of Temples. It was initially built in the year 1150 as a Hindu temple, but then it was later converted to a Buddhist temple in the 16th century.
She's stalling while calling out for more. She doesn't know what for.
I have to say it's pretty amazing. It's not even 7 a.m. and it is so hot already. So I imagine that coming here in the middle of the heat of the day is rough.
She's on the edge of the night. She's only blinded by the light. Nothing unspoken, endless outward hoping's keeping me tied to her.
So inside the main building here, there are 4 pools which represent earth, fire, water, and air. And our tour guide explained that they were initially used for catching the rainwater because, of course, during the rainy season here in Cambodia, there's a lot of rain. The stones here are actually from a mountain that's about 60 kilometers away, and the way that they were transported to this site was different depending on if it was the wet season or the dry season. In the wet season, they used bamboo rafts to float the stones over here, and in the dry season, they used elephants. This spot right here, where you can see people crowded, is the exact center of this Angkor Wat temple. And what's really fascinating about it is that if you use a compass, which we tried with an iPhone, it points exactly perfectly north. Behind me here, you can see a few Buddha statues. There used to be 1,000 of them here, but sadly, when the Khmer Rouge had control of the country, they were very anti-religion and they destroyed almost all of them. Here on the second level of the main temple here, I think you can see and hear there's a little bit of construction going on. Additionally, normally you can actually keep going up to the 3rd level. However, tonight is a full moon, and every time there's a full moon, they close the 3rd level for celebrations. So that's good to know. To check when the moon will be full if you are coming here to Angkor Wat and want to visit the top level.
Can't compromise. She acts of her own design. She's wanting and haunting every space. She can't keep
We're now leaving Angkor Wat to go get some breakfast, but we will be back because we are visiting 2 other temples here today. Another fact that I wanted to share is that Angkor Wat took 37 years to build, which is the same as the $37 price for admission. I thought that was kind of fun. I don't know if this is true or it just feels this way, but I am getting the impression that a lot more people come at sunrise and then maybe leave because it feels like there are fewer people here now than there were at 6 a.m. This might be a weird thing to add, but I want my videos to be helpful, and I think that this is a helpful tip. There aren't a ton of bathrooms here. There is a bathroom when you first come in, but it's not right by the entrance. It's a bit of a walk. And then there was another bathroom by the main temple, but also a bit of a walk. So just plan accordingly. I don't know. After a very necessary break for breakfast, we have arrived at another temple. I think it's fair to say this one actually might be the most famous of all the temples in the complex. The modern name for this temple is Ta Prohm. However, the original name was actually Raja Vihara, which translates from Sanskrit to Temple of the King. That said, nowadays it is most commonly known as the Tomb Raider Temple because it is where Tomb Raider was filmed.
She's on the edge of the night.
Walking up, you can see a huge tree growing out of the roof. Just incredible.
She's only blinded by the light. Nothing unspoken. Endless outward hoping's keeping me tight.
As busy as it most definitely is here, it's such a large space that it's not impossible to find little corners and rooms where you're completely by yourself. And that is really, really hard to explain. It's such a cool feeling. Judging by the tourist situation, I'm pretty sure this is the tree from the movie. You may have noticed that a lot of the entire complex, including this temple, is under renovation. They are constantly fixing up these temples that are almost 1,000 years old. In this one in particular, there are some stones that are more recent, and you can sort of see a difference in the color of the stones from the old versus the newer. However, now that moss has grown over top, they all kind of look the same. Sometimes when I'm watching videos from this region of the world, I forget how hot it is. I feel like you can tell by how sweaty I am, but it is really, really, really hot. I say this obviously not at all to complain, but to say that it's very much a factor if you're gonna come here. I think maybe this is the trip where I most regret that I've never bought one of those portable fans. It sounds really nice right now. For the most part, I'm obviously trying to show you the sights and not the other tourists, but I do want to let you know that if you're coming here, which I hope you are because it's beautiful, there are so many people, and it's a lot of people kind of pushing for their photo spot or whatever. I think it's the heat as well. Everyone is dehydrated and overwhelmed. So just be aware and maybe give yourself lots of breaks throughout the day. As we're exiting the second of our 3 temples today, you can see here this tower that has 4 faces of the Buddha on the 4 sides. Where we're heading next has 200 towers like this. Behind me is Bayon Temple. This one and the one that we just came from were built by the same king, and they were both built after the main Angkor Wat temple, which was built by a different king. This temple was built in the late 12th century, and I believe it opened officially in the year 1200, or so that is what the internet has told me. I have been warned to not get too close, but there is a monkey, and I've never been this close to a monkey before. They're so cute. Her fun is to be had, her future carvings that you can see on the walls here depict all sorts of stories. You can see representations of agriculture and sailing and family relations, our guide was explaining. It really reminds me actually a lot of the paintings on the walls of the tombs that I saw when I was visiting Egypt. What a ridiculously special day. I am probably the sweatiest I've ever been, but also so happy. This was really, really cool. And I know that there's so much more to see here, but honestly, I can't imagine this day having gone better. I feel like I saw everything that I wanted to. And somehow it's only like 12:45 p.m., but I've been up for almost 9 hours. I just wanted to add a few more final thoughts on my very special day at Angkor Wat. Angkor Wat is one of those things that if you have the opportunity to do it, absolutely, absolutely go. It's really, really hard to wrap your head around. And then I will add that combined with the heat and the exhaustion from waking up at 4 a.m. and all the other tourists, I think that it's possible to not really take in just how incredible the sights you're seeing are, which is why I think I'll be processing this day for a long time. Sunrise at Angkor Wat was really, really spectacular. I know that that's a really popular time to go, but I do think it's worth it, even with the 4 a.m. wake-up call. Now, I know that I only visited 3 of many, many temples here in Siem Reap, and there is a little part of me that feels kind of oddly guilty that I'm not taking more advantage, but I really think that this is a quality over quantity kind of travel experience. What I mean by that is this is a hard travel day. You're up super, super early. The temperatures are so, so high. These places are really, really busy. It's a lot. And honestly, I feel like if I did another day trying to see as many temples as possible, I actually think it would take away from the experience I had yesterday. If you're coming to Angkor Wat, I really think you want to prioritize having the most enjoyable experience possible, and I think the best way to do that is to prioritize what you most want to see, and then give yourself a break and go hang out in a hotel pool like I did. Today, I want to explore Siem Reap itself. Because I am a musician digital nomad, I am going to be getting some work done today, doing some sightseeing, and kind of just wandering around and taking in this beautiful city. So while I don't yet know exactly what we'll be getting up to today, I do know that we're starting it off with some breakfast.
I don't take it in big numbers. I could get used to this kind of hunger.
I am just heading back to my hostel to grab my laptop and whatever else I need for work, because there are 2 bookstores on that same street where I had breakfast that I really need to check out. One of them has a co-working space, so that's why I'm getting my laptop. And the other one has a special offer that if you bring in a secondhand book, you get 50% off of a book that you buy there. And I think if you bring in 2, then you just get a free book, which is awesome.
Everyone deserves a lonesome slumber, so I don't take it in big numbers.
Even though crossing the road here can be a little intimidating because of all the motorbikes and tuk-tuks, people are very kind. I've made a lot of can I please cross eye contact and get a nice smile back.
Small doses, little tastes are all I need. Small doses are all it takes to feel the release. And like little roses get replaced, I'll wipe my slate clean until these small doses get a hold of me.
This place is like something I would have made up as a child. It's a treehouse filled with books. What more could you ask for? I want to move here. It was awesome. And the women working there were so, so sweet. They all thanked me for coming in. Oh, that may have just made my day. And now amazingly, I'm just headed right across the street. Thank you, Akon. One thing that's a little different about Siem Reap from Phnom Penh, where I was before in Cambodia, is that they actually have sidewalks here, which I didn't even notice at first, but now as I'm walking around, I do feel a difference when you're not dodging tuk-tuks on the street.
I won't tell you that I like it. I could get used to this kind of quiet. Maybe I'll even start to buy it, and I'll forget how much I like it.
It's just so beautiful here. I love walking along the water and just taking in all the energy. It is a much smaller city than Phnom Penh, but in some ways, I don't know, the energy feels different. I really have loved them both. And the main theme of my time in Cambodia has just been that the people are so kind. Truly, truly. It's been amazing. I'm not sure if Siem Reap has been already sort of pointed out as a fantastic digital nomad destination. There are so many great coffee shops here. I pass them on every street. So many places to do work. Such a social atmosphere. Later we are going to check out Pub Street, which is exactly what it sounds like. I don't know, it's just a really, really fun city so far. As you can probably tell, it's been a few hours, the sun has just gone down, and it's time to get some dinner.
Small doses, little takes are all I need. Small doses are all it takes to feel the release. And like winter roses get replaced, I'll wipe my slate clean till these small doses get a hold.
After a delicious dinner, I'm now here at the Old Market. There are supposedly many, many stalls of souvenirs and all sorts of different things for sale, so let's check it out. There definitely isn't much heckling here. There isn't, pressure to buy things, but it is kind of funny that when people do speak to you, I've just been called lady, so it's a lot of, hi lady, hello lady, do you want to buy anything lady? It's really funny. I think you could spend a good amount of time just wandering through the stalls here at the Old Market. However, it does seem like a lot of them kind of sell the same stuff, so I'm not spending too long here, but I am gonna head over to check out Pub Street.
When I get bored like I know I will, I'll trade this in for a different pill, and you can watch me try to bend, watch me try to break. When my arms get tired of holding these poses, I'll be the one who exposes that small doses might be all that I can take.
So I think it's fair to say that I definitely did Pub Street. I just walked into one of the seemingly main pub/clubs there, and it was really fun. And it was just a good time and a good way to experience that side of the city.
Small doses, little taste are all I need. Small doses are all it takes to feel the release. And like winter roses are in place, I won't try to get clean.
I definitely feel like I accomplished Pub Street. Honestly, it was a ton of fun. I think that the common comparison is to Khao San Road in Bangkok, Thailand. And I love both, but I will say that Pub Street here feels a lot more calm. Now I'm actually just around the corner. I'm at this gorgeous cocktail bar. It's called Asana Wooden House. It's so cool. I feel like I'm in an Indiana Jones movie or something like that.